Good morning. Welcome to NANOG 52 in beautiful Denver. It's great to see everyone out here. We've been off to a great start. We had great tutorials yesterday. We had a great social last night. Let's hear it for Alcatel-Lucent and Coresight. I mean, it was really great. I thought the food was great. The venue was great. I really had a good time. I have a few announcements that I want to make, and then we'll get going here. First off, thank you, Google, for the great sponsoring of the Newcomers Breakfast. I don't know how many people were there, but there was a great turnout. And it was a nice event, so thank you, Google. So for the breakfast out here in the South Lobby, I'm just going to read all these because I can't. I wanted to write them down, but then there were more characters than I've written down in a long time, so I just thought I'd read it. So Alcatel-Lucent, Arbor, Ciena, Cisco, Fortinet, Friend Finder Networks, Infinera, Network Hardware Resellers, NTT America, OSI Hardware, PCCW Global, Subspace Communications, and ToryPoint and Vertella. So thank you very much for that. It's really great, the sponsorship we're getting this time, and everybody here is able to take advantage of that, so thank you again. Okay, so now the boring updates. Fill out the NOG Lab survey if you have been in the NOG Lab or you'd like to. There's a giveaway after the break, so today. Fill out the NANOG surveys because we have giveaways tomorrow and Wednesday associated with those, so fill those out. Take the survey, as we like to say. There's one agenda issue that we're making a slight change in the Tuesday afternoon in the 12 to 1 time period. There's two talks in there sort of related to the RPKI, and we're going to reverse the order of them. So Randy will go first, I think, and Sharon will go second. So just in case you're timing anything around that. So with that, I want to welcome you all to NANOG 52, and I want to hand it over to Steve to say a little bit about what's going on with the board.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us. On behalf of the board, I wanted to extend our welcome to you as well. Thanks for coming. I want to say a little bit about NANOG as an organization. As of this meeting, we're now a completely self-sufficient, standalone, nonprofit organization. We are NANOG. One of the things that you can do if you'd like to join us, become part of the government's vote in the elections, is to become a member. And if you'd like to do that, please see there's a membership table out there in the lobby near the registration desk, and they'd be happy to explain what being a member is all about and even help you sign up if you'd like. So now that I've got that out of the way, my other duty up here is to extend a welcome to our host, James Tindall from Alcatel-Lucent. So thank you for coming, and everyone please give Alcatel-Lucent a round of applause for having us here. And on behalf of the board, I'd like to present you with this token of our appreciation.
Thank you very much. Well, I haven't done anything yet, and I've already got an award, so I guess it's going to be a good day. So, welcome everybody to NANOG 52. This is our first sponsor as a company, as Alcatel-Lucent. It's my first personal time here in several years. I had been to several previous NANOGs in the past. And when I was packing my suitcase yesterday, I had to go through the debate. Okay, what's the dress code going to be? The last time I was here, it was pretty much shorts and sandals. And so I said, I don't know if it's gown upscale or not. And when I showed up to the reception last night in a jacket and saw that I was the only one, I went, okay, I'm glad I brought the jeans today anyway, because I don't look quite out of place. So it's good to see that some things never change. So we have been involved with NANOG for quite a few years, but this is our first time to sponsor the event. We've been to some of the beers and gears, but this is something that we're quite committed to as an organization from Alcatel-Lucent, and something that we'll be continuing to do as we go forward. These NANOG events are important, and for a lot of reasons, and not least of which is we're no longer just looking at some of the technology problems. We have an awful lot of business problems to address now too, which can arguably be a little more difficult to solve than the technical problems right now. So I think this is important that we get together as a community, as the various organizations that support the internet, and figure out how we're going to scale all this stuff and actually come out with our shirts intact. So I think it's a very good venue. Again, thanks to all the sponsors for supporting the event, and congratulations to the new organization. I understand this is the first time we're meeting under the different organizational structure, so thanks to everybody that made that happen. And of course, many folks worked very long and hard hours to pull all this together, not just from a show perspective, but from all the technical and the gear that has to go up. Thanks to CenturyLink for getting our connectivity in here. I understand we had a special fiber pole just for this kind of event. Thanks to the Sheraton for all the logistics support there. CoreSite with the co-sponsor, and Merit, and a special thanks to Merit for all the years of service that they've put in to make this kind of thing go. So I don't think we can give them enough appreciation and gratitude for that. Events of interest, well, we already had the social last night, so it's a bit redundant. If anybody's expecting to go back there tonight, it probably won't be quite as lively as it was last night. But we do have the beer and gear tonight from 6 to 8 o'clock. Encourage everybody to go and participate and look at some of the particular pieces of equipment and networking things that we've got going on there. The NOG lab with all of the various demos that we've got going, and here's a bit of a picture of what we've got going. A lot of IPv6, as one would expect. We've got some WDM technology, we've got some routing technology, we've got some access technology, and I don't know that it's quite time to pronounce the death of IPv4, but I think the footsteps are coming quickly. So IPv6 is certainly front and center in a lot of the implementations that we certainly look at now. And I think it'll be an interesting time over the next few years. Technical difficulties. Oh, so nobody's seeing my slides.
Hang on. I'm thinking you're not getting your slides, Chris.
Ah. Okay, there we go. Now we got a network diagram. So I've been talking to myself basically up here for the last few minutes. Anyway, the rest of it was all words. You can read them. Not a big deal. The network stuff is the fun stuff. So as you can see, we've got a fairly extensive V6 network set up with a lot of the V6 peripherals in order to really demonstrate some of the end-to-end V6 performance. Network itself, we've got the NOG lab that's hooked up and wired through some of the various other parts of the hotel to provide connectivity, going back through the NANOG router and then finally up through CenturyLink. So again, thanks to CenturyLink for providing this connectivity. The obligatory network diagram, yep, we've got switches and routers sitting around aggregating things up. I don't think there's a whole lot of rocket science here. But proof of Merit's hard work. You've got to have the obligatory pictures of the actual wiring closets and all the real work that goes on into putting something like this on to get all this connectivity up and get all the labs connected. And wiring closet memories, and certainly we all have seen a bunch of punch-down blocks in the past. So again, thanks very much for attending the show. I'm really looking forward to seeing how this has developed over the last few years, and welcome.
Thanks again for the great social and for hosting. Okay. Maurice, are you around? Okay. Maurice is going to come up and say a few words about one of our colleagues, and then after that, well, let's do this first.
Hi there, I'm Maurice Dean. I'm just going to say a few words about a dear friend that we lost suddenly. Where Joe Wood passed away on Friday, last week, and as we're such a small and tight-knit community, quite a diverse community, that Joe really enjoyed being in part of. I thought a few words would be appropriate. You know, I really love the fact that everyone that knew Joe, when trying to describe him, always finds some difficulty because, frankly, he was a very unique guy, and there are phrases that come up frequently, mostly around his great smile and his infectious sort of presence, and that laugh he had, which was, thinking about it now, it's like hard to speak, but. Yeah, but also people talk about him just being a deeply caring guy, you know, very passionate about what he does, and a sweet, gentle bear, you know. But, and I'll also say that he was a great hugger, you know. And of course, he's a kind of unique, lovable, audible, a left field thinker, and. Yeah, and someone who has a depth of knowledge in this particular technical field that was astonishing to anyone who'd had the pleasure of working with him. The depth of his knowledge across, and expertise across optical, MPLS, routing, switching, software, and his favorite hobby of bug hunting was just breathtaking to experience. Just on a personal note, Joe was one of the very few people that was a really inspiring mentor. His ability to understand large-scale, complex systems and then explain them in a few swipes of a pen at a whiteboard was just unmatched and truly somebody that will be missed. But yeah, I just wanted to say a few words and say, Joe, you know, we love you, we miss you. And as a community, we're shocked by your loss, and there's a gap here now. But okay.